Hi everyone, I'm going to discuss the editorial section of the Hindu newspaper dated 13 June 2023. So let's start. So our first article is titled as Restless Protest and the Shrinking Space for Dissent. So let's first understand why are these restless protesting. Many wrestlers, including Vinesh Fogart, Sakshi Malik, Bajrang Punia, are protesting since nearly 4 months to demand the arrest of Wrestling Federation of India chief Brijbhushan Sharan Singh, who also happens to be the member of BJP party. He has been accused of sexually harassing women wrestlers and a minor, but the authorities did not respond for weeks. So it took Supreme Court's intervention to file two FIRs against him. So if we talk about the UPA era in 2012, when Nirbhaya case took place, there had been a lot of protests that happened in the country. But this time, it also, if we focus that both of these cases have been the case of sexual violence, but people have not been stirred by the images of wrestlers being dragged by the police this time. So, if we talk about wrestlers being dragged by the police, when the inauguration of the country's new parliament took place, chaos unfolded in the heart of the capital because all these top wrestlers were detained by Delhi police while attempting to march towards the new parliament building. So there is a context of class politics that is happening in case of restless protests. Now, this time, except for left groups, All India Democratic Women's Association, women's group have been largely missing in action, even though it is an issue of gender justice. Now, all the groups that have been women's groups that have been active in many sexual violence cases, they are inactive this time. So it is not just about gender justice in context with restless protest, but also the wider issues of dissent, dignity, and social justice at large. Now, the lack of interest in this agitation must be seen with a broader aspect. The active participation of middle classes in the Anna Hazare Andolan and Nirbhaya protest, as I talked about earlier, presents a contrasting picture that highlights the importance given to social activism by this class. So this paragraph mainly talks about that this is just not class politics, but majoritarian politics that has encouraged the ready acceptance of law will take its own course. Law will take its own course, as in the that law will follow its own course, and justice will take place by itself. We shouldn't have to do anything. Law will take its own course. So even when it is abundantly clear that law does not take its own course when dealing with powerful, unless they cannot and will not interfere with due process. Nonetheless, this rhetorical device facilitates an approval of the government's narrative, including police mistreatment of grapplers. So this is yet another indication of polarization being enforced by majoritarian politics in the country. So if we talk about majoritarian politics, there are basically two groups: the majority and the minority. Majority, as in the government supporting, and minority, as in the wrestlers. So इसमें कहने वाली ये बात है दैट अगर हम पुराने प्रोटेस्ट को देखें, जैसे कि फार्म लॉस की प्रोटेस्ट या फिर निर्भया के प्रोटेस्ट, people were more agitated because it was happening to them. So they were not, so they were concerned by that particular uh, disadvantage that happened to them. So, middle class activism tends to prioritize the issues and concerns that directly impact them. So, it directly impacted people during those particular protests, they often overlook the needs of the disadvantaged classes and the communities, which are the minorities. So this is basically majoritarian politics happening here with the restless protest. So our next article is e-education platforms, their generative AI chapter. So the founder of Khan Academy, he gained popularity during 2008 World Economic Crisis, and he has received funding from organizations such as Gates Foundation, Google, Elon Musk. So Khan Academy has grown significantly. It has many learners worldwide, and it's ranging from school goers to graduate level learners. Now, in 2011, massive open online courses, they emerged as a new genre of online courses, with Stanford University offering free online courses that attracted a large number of workers. Now that gave rise to prominent MOOC platforms such as Udacity, Coursera, edX. Now, MIT and Harvard University they joined forces to create edX as a non-profit MOOCs company, which later got acquired for profit company in 2021. So India's institution they also offered MOOC courses through the edX platform. Indian institutions like the IIT Bombay and the Indian Institute of Management Bangalore. So India's Swayam portal, launched in 2017 by the Ministry of Education, is one of the largest e-portals for online learning. MOOC platforms face financial challenges. They also face financial challenges because they operate at high maintenance cost. They need extensive market. They need high operating expensive expenses. Now, generative AI tools such as ChatGPT are being employed by platforms like edX and Khan Academy to enhance learning experience, assist learners, and reduce dropout rates. So actually, these MOOC platforms they face financial challenges because people are as dropouts number rise. People are not attracted to degree granting programs such as Coursera. So they face financial challenges. So they are these MOOC platforms. They are hiring generative AI tools to enhance the learning experience, assist learners, and reduce dropout rates. Swayam being publicly funded and driven by inclusivity and cross-disciplinary learning, Swayam is the India's platform is expected to utilize AI-based learning services such as India's active internet users increased to 900 million by 2025. So this is important that India's internet users are going to increase to 900 million by 2025. So our next article is the same sex marriage, morality versus equality. So the article discusses the visit of philosopher Michael Sandel to India and highlights the missed opportunity to engage with his ideas on a deeper moral question facing Indian society during discussions on same sex marriage before the Supreme Court. So the thing is that in a landmark case, a group of 18 same-sex Indian couples have petitioned the SC to legalize same-sex marriage. So there have been a discussion in the Supreme Court about this particular topic. So now Sandel's critique on contemporary liberalism challenges the notion of sorting out the issue of same-sex marriage within a framework of individual rights. So, Supreme Court's adherence to neutrality on moral questions is necessary for maintaining equal concern for all, but it also poses challenges when it comes to educating on the right to marry. Mandating the state to recognize a specific type of marriage based on equality would violate the principle of neutrality and the liberal tenet of detachment from moral concerns. Now, if we talk about the state recognizing a specific type of marriage based on equality, that would it would violate the principle of neutrality or unbiasedness or other various concerns. So it is a kind of hard for the state to recognize a specific type of marriage. Now, Martha Nussbaum, a supporter of same sex marriage, suggests that it would be better for the state to withdraw from the institution of the marriage altogether. So, she suggests that it would be better, it would be really good for the state to withdraw from the institution of marriage altogether. This is not up to the state whether a person should marry the other person or not. So, Sandel argues against the bracketing as in this bracketing of moral issues, which assumes that individuals can detach themselves from their social and historical roles and statuses. Deciding on same-sex marriage based solely on equality or privacy may require citizens to recognize and accept it as a duty to strangers, potentially leading to alienation and fundamentalist tendencies. So basically, they're saying that it is against the principle of neutrality. So the article questions the capability of the court. How is the court capable to decide whether a person should marry the other person, or a centralized state to decide or resolve moral issues in the society, using the example of this particular judicial state's decision on same-sex marriage? So the significance of marriage in India, especially in traditional terms, goes beyond procreation. So the US court or the foreign courts have to decide the fact whether marriages are based on they are needed for procreation, or they are needed for having a loving relationship. But it is this case is very very different when it comes to Indian courts. So you know the significance of marriage, it is very sacred, it holds a very honorific value. So the significance was captured by the Calcutta High Court in 1901 as follows: it is a union of flesh with flesh, bone with bone. The union is sacred tie and subsists even after death. Now, the author suggests that decisions on same sex marriage should involve citizens' assemblies or initiatives similar to those in Ireland and Finland to ensure broader societal involvement and acceptance. So, reviving Gandhi's concept of little republics could be a starting point for such initiatives. So, little republics is a type of self government. There is no intervention of the higher authority at all. So this concept was actually introduced by the British administrators in the early 19th century, where they described the Indian villages as little republics. So this particular concept can help. That could be a starting point for initiatives like that in India, where there is a broader societal involvement and acceptance, rather than the higher authorities taking the command in their hands. So let's begin with the vocabulary. So this means art of speaking to persuade public. If you had to make a sentence out of it, it would be the speaker's use of rhetorical devices captivated the audience. Neoliberalism means it is an ideology that promotes free markets, privatization, and limited government intervention. Quiescence means, remember it like this: quiescence, Quiet. It means a state of quietness. So, quiescence and quietness. If you had to make a sentence out of this word, it would be the peaceful countryside excluded the sense of quiescence. I wanted to write the meaning of the word tenants, intrinsic and prodded and social rumblings in the comment section and form a sentence out of it. So I'll share the meaning of the word repertoire. It means a stock of plays, dances, or pieces that a performer knows or is prepared to perform. Stock of plays, a performer is prepared to perform. So if you had to make a sentence out of this word, it would be the talented pianist showcased her repertoire. Thank you. I hope you liked the video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. So that's it from my side.